Hey y'all, this is Rayborn the Witch coming at you live from Inspiration 215, and I'm here today to give you a spirit message for January 21st, 2021. So it's the day after the inauguration, which was a powerful moment. And it is also a moon phase of the waxing gibbous moon right now. So we are in calibration stage before we get to the full moon. And so with that, I was thinking of the word calibrate. I was thinking about it as like the lessons that we learn and how to refine or fine tune things that we need to kind of like focus on, so that we can kind of, sorry, my stage is like wafting with smoke, so that we can move into this next phase of reality, in this next phase of our journey, with more clarity, and vision and purpose. So I just want to kind of shout out my girl Kachina. She made me this little portable Florida water that I take with me, or I just keep in my altar, but I could also take it with me if I wanted to keep a little hot sauce in my bag, swag a little tarot card on the go. I could keep this with me and just kind of like have this as a roll on to cleanse before I do a reading. So I just wanted to show you guys that. And I will put her information in the description box below. She's an amazing, amazing witch and creator of amazing products. So I will put her stuff in the description box below so that you can reach out to her to get a reading, to get some spiritual materials to fine tune and to align. She does oils, spiritual baths, and also she does oil, spiritual baths, and candles, and she does amazing readings. Like, her readings are unbelievable, and they give me so much clarity and messages that I need. So definitely reach out to her. She's great. So I'm going to be using 3 decks today. So the first deck, of course, that I'll be using is my Mama Witch's deck, the Moonbbmagicktarot deck, created by Angela Mary Magic, and she really represents the moon phases with this deck. But I want to ask this deck today for some messages for the collective around things that we need to calibrate, things that we need to fine tune. So I'm gonna get like 3 messages for this, just so we can kind of move forward with this guidance, and key words to really better understand our journey right now and where we are right now in this state of being. Okay, so let's get some messages around things that we need to fine tune, things that we need to focus on and calibrate within ourselves. Integrate, I also think about too, as being a message, something that we are learning and then we are integrating into ourselves as a new way of being. So things we need to calibrate. And yes, okay. So beautiful messages to get us started here. And I also pulled out this color card thing that gives us colors that go with the background of her cards, because I want to read it more effectively with the energy that she envisioned for the cards as well. So if you look here, we have cogitate, and this is another way to say like bringing strings of ideas together to really put them into balance with and integrate them into this wholeness within yourself, or to understand things better. And I've gotten this card a couple of times, and this is 3 of Caves, but this is 3 of Caves in reverse. So we're going to get the reverse message from her, her beautiful guidebook that was featured in Oprah magazine recently. So we are going to get a message, a song message that'll help us calibrate and realign in this intention. But the 3 of Pentacles in the upright is really about kind of like bringing in multiple vantage points to better create a project, an endeavor, working with other people. And this is a full moon, so bringing these ideas together in preparation for the full moon. And the full moon is going to be happening in Leo, which is a beautiful full moon to really understand things within yourself and your identity, so that you can really come from a place of more authenticity in your life. And this full moon is really important for those that have like Libra, or not Libra placements, Leo placements, all the placements, but Leo placements in particular, specifically Leo moons. So shout out to the Leo moons. I have a Leo moon, and I've been doing some deep reflection. The next card we get is disorder, and this is the 9 of Blades, but this is the 9 of Blades in reverse. So this is also another full moon card, and this has like sharks like swimming around, like, you know, sharks in the water. And when we think about the 9 of Blades, I think about the 9 of Swords as being this like continuous thinking and just trying to, and like getting into this like kind of anxiety prone phase of things where you're just like incessantly worrying about things, and kind of creating the drama within and kind of looping it in your mind, and how that really does continue and perpetuate that that state of mind within you that doesn't allow you to see things with clarity. So we're also going to get the message here for this. The green background is all about abundance, fertility, and home. So, and we have these two pomegranate halves and this pomegranate whole in the middle. So bringing your state of halves into wholeness. And I love that as being like this message right here underneath the full moon of becoming more full and more whole in yourself, with all the pieces of who you are, bringing those together to create all the seeds of who you are, to bringing those to create this like whole fruit of multiple seeds and many seeds that can be planted. And when we think about this yellow and background, it's about communicating and celebrating life. So the way that we communicate with self is indicated in the 9 of blades and the 9 of swords, is like these incessant messages that you tell yourself that kind of like create this worry, or this state of worry. So before we move forward, I'm just going to get the 2 song messages that come from this cute little guidebook that she created, so that we can kind of calibrate with that energy as well. So the first one we're going to get is for the 3 of caves, and the 3 of caves in reverse is strife. So the song is Green Light by Lord. So this is a beautiful message right here of like, coming out of strife, or recognizing the strife that we have with others that have kept us from feeling whole within ourselves, the pieces that we've kind of like placed outside of ourselves in order to feel comfortable with other people or interactions with other people, or the pieces that we've left out of projects that we're creating in order to bring this wholeness to our ideas. And that's definitely a message for me as well. And then the other song that we get when this 9 of blades is in reverse. So let me go to the 9 of blades really quick. And the 9 of blades in reverse is surrender. And I've been getting this message all week, not just from me, but also from my friends that kind of, will text me their tarot card spreads and be like, I got 3 reverses, and one of them is the hangman and the upright, and I was like, the upright hangman is about surrender but the other cards in reverse are also about surrendering to this. So there is a need to surrender and to understand that you are replaying nightmares. We're also going into a retrograde phase, or we're in the shadow of a retrograde. So we are getting those like callbacks to the past to really understand who we are and how we've kind of put ourselves in these state of disorder and disordered thinking, so that we can come out of that and surrender to it, so that we can better understand and integrate it into who we are as people and learn the lessons from it. And this is Nightmares, Band of Skulls. So this is a great song. I put this on my playlist because I've gotten this card a couple times. So I have the shark tattoo because the shark is a guide for me, but also it's like, understanding that we come from this gut instinct, that we know what's best for us, and we need to understand that, if it's not working, it's because there's some place in our body that it wasn't working before we even embarked on that journey, or in that relationship or in that project. There's something that gave us that gut instinct that told us that this wasn't going to be a good idea, and now we're starting to see the after effects of that. But then we get this lovely card in the upright, and this is the Page of Waves, and it's ecstasy. So the Page of Waves is also the Page of Cups, about dreaming and really coming into this state of wholeness about who we are and what we want to envision for our lives. And I love that this has a little wand being held towards the with this hand coming out of the clouds, the hand of God or the goddess. But for me, it really is beautiful, and I can't wait to show you the synchronicities of this when I get my design for my new project, because there's a lot of synchronicities with this card in my new project and my new endeavor that I'm going to be embarking on, that I'm super excited about, that is about ecstasy, that is about going back to this childlike sense of wonderment and creation, and really just like dreaming what you want into being from the lessons that you've learned, from the places where you've grown and the thinking that you've grown out of, to really get back to this this page mentality, which is this beginner's mindset, which is the childlike energy of the cup suit, which is all about like just embodying the dreaming aspect of things so that you really can like bring your dreams to life from this place of excitement and ecstasy in that creation phase, and not caring what the outcome is, but just being in the moment of creation. So I love that as our energy. So I'm just going to clear this little calendar reminder for my nails, because I just did them myself. I'm not going to get them done because I'm going to do them myself right now. And it feels weird to have just like nails of bare, but it's so beautiful. And I think that I had to prep for my creation stage because I'm going to be using my hands, which is such a healing thing to do when you're going into and tapping into your inner child, is just like working with your hands. And doing that, getting messy with it, right? So I needed to get my nails cut down, and I took them off so that I could get messy with my hands. So the next cards I'm gonna get are from my dear friend Jordan's deck, 33 Masters, and his cards are all sigils. And of course, I got the inner child right here, and I love that this inner child image is like all the like the magic that happens outside of the box. This out of the box thinking is where the magic happens, and that inner child staying in the box isn't going to produce the things that we want to make. And I'm going back to thinking about Angela's like message when she asked us to ask questions about Moonbaby Magic Tarot, and I asked what was the hardest part of creating this deck, and she answered in 3 parts, and she's just like, you know, the moon phases were a bitch to create, but also just like, you know, I put my little cat on there at the end, and she had all these like phases of her development up into the production stage of things to add new ideas. So she stayed in that open mind state of like creation of the whole process up until the end, and being open to that, you know, you can change things along the way and make it best suited to your emotional downloads and your strikes of inspiration, flashes of inspiration that will come out in this time period with Uranus. You know, kind of, you know, doing all these weird placements. I'm not an astrologer. I'm not gonna say that I know what all is going on, but I do know that there's a lot of things happening that are meant to bring us some flashes of inspiration in these moments and in these times. So let's get a message from Jordan's deck around a sigil that can really help us and uplift us to calibrate and fine tune as well, especially our projects that we're doing right now, and the pieces of our projects that we need to stop incessantly worrying about and just let it flow a little bit more, like the Page of Waves will do. So let us get another message, because I did flip the inner child one, but let's get another message from Jordan's deck to really assist us in this process. Oh, and we get memory. If that's not a retrograde moment, I don't know what is. But when we go into retrogrades, we also have to think about the memories of the way past. And when we're thinking about this inner child and tapping into that inner child for healing, for shadow work, for self-growth, we also think about the memories that kind of like brought us that ecstasy, brought us that enjoyment, brought us that like fresh perspective, things that we enjoyed as a kid. So going back to those memories of childhood and the good ones that we have, some, you know, as long as that, you know, there are some the hard memories of childhood, but there's also some really great ones in there too. Some magic that is there that we can kind of go back to and draw on to help us in our creations that we're kind of bringing forth right now and birthing in this phase of things. So I love that as the message, and I love that there's this like this little triangle kind of with this little like curl, you know, in this tear. So there are like some heartbreaking moments that really can bring us new creative energy, and then there's also this like just like going back to the watery depths of who we were as kids. That's when we were most pure. That's when we were able to really create with no abandon. And I'm running out of time, but I am going to get a little feather message because I just got this beautiful little feather deck. So let's get a feather message really quick to round this reading out. Ooh, it came right out for us. Okay, so here's the feather, and it is a new thatch. Look at that little birdie. And it says, stay grounded and welcome new knowledge and perspective coming to you. If that's not a beautiful ending to a reading, have a wonderful rest of your day, y'all.